Hey everybody, welcome to our autism vlog number 3. We are headed to California. So our plan is we're going to first go through Lake Tahoe, and then we'll spend a couple of days there, and then we're going to head on to Yosemite, and then from there we're going to head over to San Jose, where Brittany's sister is, and see some of San Francisco, hopefully a little bit of that on the peninsula there in the Bay Area. We're also going to talk about the pros and cons of the autism community. Just thought something you guys would be interested in. My wife's driving here, and boys are in the back, and we crammed everything into our Prius, so we're going to see how that goes. So I just wanted to start off with a con because we want to end on a good note. We want to end on the pros. So please feel free to point out if you agree, disagree, what you like, don't like, any of that stuff in the comment section. So one thing I want to start out with is political correctness in the autism community. People say things like they are autistic versus they have autism. No one's really saying that your kid is defined by autism. At least that's not what I've heard. No one's ever told me that. You can call me white and I won't be offended. I'm pretty certain you're pointing to an attribute rather than saying all I am is white and that's what defines me. So when someone says your loved one is autistic or calls you autistic, please don't freak out unless they say it in a really hurtful tone, which they probably won't. You can even be rude while saying someone has autism. So an example would be, oh, your kid has autism, in air quotes, meaning they don't believe your kid is autistic. So it's really just how you say it. So we're finally settled in our place here up in Tahoe. It's called the Tahoe Cabin, but it's really like a small house. We'll show you some of the outside tomorrow. We're watching Happy Feet. Ian is playing A Link Between Worlds. In my opinion, it's the best 2D Zelda game. Maybe the best Zelda game ever. Pretty awesome. 3DS is a lifesaver too when we're traveling. Looks like the boys are getting settled in. Baby is drumming on everything. Oh my goodness, they're so happy to be out of the car.
Very, very happy.
Alright, I'm going to show you guys outside real quick. This is the back of the house. So there's a wonderful smell of butterscotch pine out here. This is why you come to Tahoe, right? Beautiful trees, fresh air.
Well, one of the pros of the autism community that I found to be the most help, well, I really like Ian's teacher and his teaching assistants. Just through the school district, I've had no complaints. I know some people don't really like the school district and they prefer to go to specialty charter schools for autism, but I find they're some of the most devoted, kind teachers ever. And they're so involved in Ian and Connor's daily life that, of course, they know exactly what's going on, if they're hitting, if they're sad about something, and they've been a great source of comfort and camaraderie. Also, another one would be the Big Max community on Facebook, and Max is mothers of autistic kids.
Gross. He just snotted all over the window. One of the cons of the autism community can be diagnosing other people's children. Sometimes people feel like if they know someone who has autism or if they have a kid who has autism, they can diagnose other people's children. Not literally diagnose them, but basically say, oh, your child doesn't have autism, your child has ADHD, or they have this or the other thing. Just as you wouldn't go around telling people they have cancer or don't have cancer, you shouldn't do that with autism. It requires a professional to give a professional diagnosis. It requires a doctor to diagnose cancer. So unless you're a psychiatrist or a social worker or someone who has a clinical background with a degree, who is a professional, it really isn't a good idea to tell other people's families if they have autism or don't have autism. As the saying goes, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. So there's a whole spectrum. There's high functioning to low functioning. You can have anyone from someone who talks, like Temple Grandin, who has a job, to someone who's in a wheelchair, who's maybe drooling or hitting themselves, and has chew toys because they're just so disabled. So there is a very wide spectrum, and so you shouldn't judge other people's children and say they do have autism or they don't have autism. And in some cases, that can be a hindrance to other people who are looking for a diagnosis because they don't know about their kid and their situation. So they might not get a diagnosis because someone says, "Oh, you don't have autism. Your child." Hey YouTube, we're gonna have to do a to be continued on this video. Our other camera is it's doing fine, but we ran out of memory, ran out of the right type of memory cards because they require high-speed memory cards, and you know, they're like 50 or 60 bucks up here in Lake Tahoe. So we just decided to forego that, and we also need to enjoy our vacation. And our kids are having meltdowns. You can see here from the B-roll, and we'll do a part 2 when we get back to Utah, and we'll still show you beautiful sights from Yosemite and San Francisco and stuff like that. But we really just need to take it easy, and we'll continue the pros and cons of the autism community, and hopefully say some very helpful things that will help all you guys. And thanks for all your support and for subscribing, and we'll talk to you guys later.